They'll come together, Kate stuns in a glittering £1,590 gown as she pulls a pint in Belfast before Prince William wades into Brexit debate with a call for unity. The Duke of Cambridge has urged people to come together in times of trouble and work for the common good in a speech echoing the Queen's call for unity on Brexit as he pays a visit to Northern Ireland. William and Kate were greeted at the Empire Music Hall, in Belfast by cheering crowds on Wednesday evening. The Duchess, 37, stunned in a £1,590 Missoni metallic knit wrap dress featuring a mid-length pleated skirt, and could be seen laughing as she went behind the bar and poured pints with her husband at the party, which was celebrating young people who are making a difference. The mother of three paired the powder blue gown with her signature giant Vito suede stilettos, costing £505, and a nude mulberry clutch, as she was greeted by Lord Lieutenant of Belfast Fionnuala J. O'Boyle. Meanwhile, the second in line used the opportunity to praise individuals seeking to work for the common good, which was thought to be a thinly veiled reference to Brexit, in a speech which echoed the sentiments of the Queen's a month earlier. When speaking about the appointment of former Olympian Dame Mary Peters to the Order of the Garter, Prince William said, "Mary Peters is not only one of the United Kingdom's sporting legends, she's also inspired generation after generation to come together in times of trouble and work for the common good, a lesson I hope many of us can learn from." So it was fitting today that Her Majesty the Queen has appointed Mary to be a Lady Companion of the Most Noble Order of the Garter, one of the UK's highest honours. Dame Mary, a Northern Ireland sporting great, won gold in the pentathlon at the 1972 Olympics and founded sports charity the Mary Peters Trust. She will become a Lady Companion of the Order, the oldest and most senior British order of chivalry. The Prince's intervention comes just a month after the Queen highlighted the need for respect and seeking out common ground in an address seen as a veiled reference to the bitterness over Brexit. His words will be particularly significant because much of the Brexit tension is over Northern Ireland's border and a backstop demanded by Brussels to keep trade flowing without the need for controls. The Duke of Cambridge's message at the celebratory dinner in Belfast could also be seen as a prompt to Stormont to resume its work after the power-sharing deal between the DUP and Sinn Féin collapsed 2 years ago. At the event, a band called Larks will take to the stage tonight, and guests will encompass representatives from Northern Ireland's business, arts and sports sectors, including Dame Mary Peters, who was today appointed Lady Companion of the Most Noble of the Garter by the Queen. William and Kate laughed and exchanged jokes as they got behind the bar at the Empire Music Hall. There were cheers as Kate poured a pint of Harpice lager and set her effort on the bar. William then took his turn, saying "Here we go" as he tilted the pint glass. He watched the tap intently before exclaiming "Look at that bad boy" as he admired his work, and added, "Perfect? Good enough for an advert." Her Majesty and the rest of the royals are expected to remain politically neutral. Using barely coded language in a speech to her local Women's Institute in Norfolk, the Queen said in January she preferred respecting different points of view. Her intervention split opinion, with many praising the Queen but others claiming she should not get involved. She also used her Christmas message to the nation to preach a similar message of unity. William's hastily arranged 2-day visit to Northern Ireland with his wife Kate comes as MPs argue over the terms of Brexit with just over a month to go until the scheduled departure date. The royals began their trip with a visit to Windsor Park Football Stadium to find out about outreach programs and take part in a game of football with local children. The tour will include a meeting with a youth charity in the border region of Fermanagh. Even though the royals tend to steer well clear of politics, their visits are often organized in conjunction with the government to assist Britain's wider political and economic agenda at home and abroad. The shock result of the 2016 EU membership referendum has forced the royals into diplomatic overdrive. Not long after the referendum, William toured Canada, then Europe, in what was seen as a bridge-building exercise as Britain looked to retain old alliances with European and build new trade ties with the Commonwealth. Strategic royal visits have multiplied since then. But the trip to Northern Ireland, where the IRA fought a bloody campaign against British rule for 3 decades until 1998, is particularly sensitive. Since the end of the conflict, Residents of the province have become accustomed to a free-flowing border with the Republic of Ireland, an EU member state. Northern Ireland voted to stay in the EU by 56% to 44%, but the United Kingdom as a whole voted to leave. The future of the border, and in particular how to fulfill British and EU promises to keep it open, has been a flashpoint for Brexit divisions ever since. There are fears on both sides of the Irish border that any disruption could undermine the peace process. But many Conservative MPs are refusing to approve the draft Brexit deal on the table because they fear Britain would be trapped in an indefinite backstop arrangement with the EU to keep the border open. After her deal was overwhelmingly rejected by Parliament last month, Prime Minister Theresa May has said she will look for changes to the backstop but has sought to reassure Northern Ireland over its future. Royals getting involved in politics is extremely rare, but the Prince of Wales has promised he will not meddle in public affairs when he becomes king after a series of high-profile rows. In 2015 Charles had to defend his decision to write a series of letters to government ministers, some of which are known as the Black Spider Memos, so-called because of his use of black ink and his scrawled handwriting. A long-running legal battle by Guardian newspaper journalist Rob Evans to secure the release of the documents culminated in the UK's highest court ordering the government to publish them. The letters showed the prince had raised issues with ministers on several occasions between September 2004 and March 2005. He tackled then Prime Minister Tony Blair over the lack of resources for the armed forces fighting in Iraq and also wrote to ministers about the benefits of complementary medicine, the need for affordable rural homes and the threat to heritage buildings. In the same year there was controversy when it emerged Charles had been routinely receiving copies of confidential cabinet papers for more than 20 years. The Prince of Wales has long espoused the benefits of homeopathic remedies and complementary medicine, and come under fire from some in the medical profession as a result. In a private letter to Mr. Blair in 2005 he complained that a European Union directive on herbal medicinal products was having a deleterious effect on the UK's complementary medicine sector by effectively outlawing the use of certain herbal extracts. In 2008 his Dutch Originals firm and British homeopathic manufacturer Nelson launched a range of herbal remedies. The following year the UK medicines regulator told the firm to change the wording of a campaign promoting two products because their claims were misleading.